Well, today is moving day. Just got to the house in Brisbane. I have like no plan for this video or anything. I just thought I'd share snippets along the journey. Last night was the last night in my dream house, and I kind of want to do like a list about it and like maybe put it as like an Instagram caption or something. But I'm trying to think of it like I lost my dream home, lost my dream man, but I gained so much during that time. Like I don't even know who I am anymore. I've changed into like 5 different people throughout the year, and although I lost my dream home, I had a space to heal for a year and like just had peace for the first time after like so many share houses where there's so much stress going on and like just you can't thrive in the environment. So like even though I've lost those things, even though I lost my dream man, I've learned so much about myself and what I need to change before going into another relationship, or just things to be aware of and other ways I still need to grow as a person, because this has really been like the year of personal development. And like I was only touching the tip of the iceberg before, so now in the last 2 months I'm like, oh my gosh, like the universe, I keep trying to say the universe will move mountains to give you what you want. So if you want to grow, it might give it in ways that you don't expect. So even though I lost my dream man, I learned how to trust again. I gained a man that like bent over backwards for me. Like we'd known each other, we'd dated for like 3 months, and he moved house for me while I was in New Zealand visiting my family for Christmas, looked after my dog on New Year's, like saved little gestures, like, oh, I wanted to wait until we got the cutlery and stuff so that we could pick what one we want together, and just little things like that to still make the house my own. And he's like really showing me, just like what it can be like. So just having that support over the last year and like a soft nature that's like helped heal my inner child from stuff that happened in the past, like learn how to communicate for the first time properly in my whole life. Like I've never seen how to resolve conflict without like yelling. So like a bit emotional at the moment. But over the last couple of weeks while I've been house hunting and things like that, I always listen to marketing videos when I go to sleep. Like always listen to business videos because I just got diagnosed with ADHD. So hearing the fast talking helps switch off my own brain. So I've actually just in the last couple of weeks discovered 3 or 4 different podcasts. Probably 3 podcasts and a YouTube channel that is stuff I've never even dived into before, all about your inner you and like reaching that next level and all these different personal development topics I've never even heard of. And even on the podcast on the drive here, she was saying your personality is your reality, and like all of your thoughts and your mind become your home. So when you have all of these thoughts up in your brain, you actually live there. So even though this has been very hard, it's like I thought I'd already grown so much, but it's like the deepest levels of thinking that I've reached over the last few weeks. So I'll start unpacking the car now. Just thought I would bring you along for the journey. Don't really have a plan, but it's good to show ins and outs of your life so that other people can see the highs and lows, and it's not just like a big highlight reel where everything is perfect online, things like that. And we all go through challenges, and it's just the journey of trying to be kind to yourself, look at what you can improve for next time, and like why the universe is like doing this for you. Like sometimes you don't understand in the moment, but once you come out of it, you'll see why. So just trusting the process. Just need to capture this little moment. Transported my desk all the way from my office to the car by myself, like carried it down the house, flipped it up, lifted it up this high off the ground and got it in there. And the old me would have like had a mental breakdown crying before I even attempted. Like, I've got no one to help me. How am I meant to do this on my own? Wow. Little chat before I go into bed. I got here late at night and I just feel so surprisingly good, and it's been a big day of moving. I only slept like 2 or 3 hours last night. I was just so stressed out and just sad, I guess, to be leaving the past behind and starting this new chapter of uncertainty. So yeah, I got here, and Millie is so funny, my dog. She keeps thinking like, when are we gonna go home? And I gave her dinner, and her bed's in the room and everything right next to mine, and then she'll just sit at the door like whining like, okay, like, why are we here? So poor girl has to get used to everything again, but I'm very grateful to just, like, I don't have any plans the next couple weeks or anything. Like, I'm not working full-time, I'm just doing my own thing, just getting settled and working on myself and my business. So I'm really grateful to have the time to be able to like show her around and make her feel comfortable, because it's a big change for a dog as well. I just went out, I was watching some YouTube videos in bed. I just went out and got Hungry Jacks, and wanted to point that out because people think I eat so perfect. They think that I would never get any kind of takeaway, like I'm so fit, like do I ever eat anything bad? I've literally had burgers and stuff. I think it's the second time I've had Hungry Jacks this week. It's obviously been off because of all the stuff going on, but I do definitely still have treat foods. And yeah, like if you see someone that is fit, yes, there is a lot of perfectionism and stuff in the fitness industry and with diet culture and things like that. But like, honestly, it doesn't matter. Like, just eat it. You deserve it. It's what you do most of the time that counts. I was just looking in the mirror, and I just feel like I've got this different glow to me already, even though it's like the same day of the move out. But there's all this weird stuff been happening with the universe, and it's all meant to, like, there's these major shifts happening. I don't know if it's with the moon or planets. I know like 6 different people going through breakups right now, but they're saying that this weekend, or like yesterday actually, is the day we like shed our old being. So I'm really happy to have moved house on this weekend to be able to start fresh, like leading up into the Christmas and New Year's and stuff, so I can be settled by that time. And the only other thing I wanted to touch on was I was thinking about my future goals and things like that, and I was chatting to my friend about it, about like what kind of house I want to live in next, because I'll probably just stay here till around March or April. Like, do I want to move back to Gold Coast, and do I even want to be here? Like, should I move away, or like do I move in with girls or by myself, or like what do I put even on my vision board? And in terms of men, usually I would be like, well, when I manifested my last partner, I was like, oh well, I want someone that ticks all these boxes. I don't know how to find someone that ticks all these boxes. Like someone that loves going to bush stuff, someone that loves dubstep was at the top of my list. Like, if I don't love dubstep, I blast it every day, like cleaning, doing my makeup, like, oh, getting ready for the day, doing my little mascara, and it's like, blah, 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 like heavy as. I'm not going to change my car music for anyone. So, like, they got to love dubstep, like going to bush stuffs, but also be open to plant-based eating and like my food. And people who go to the gym usually aren't into that because they all eat chicken, rice and broccoli. And then people, if you like go to too many doofs or too many parties, then you don't have enough like drive or success in your career, or they might not be entrepreneurial minded because the life is out of kilter. And then yeah, people who are too serious or into business may not like going to bush doofs or too many parties. So it's like, how do I find someone that ticks all those things? And now after my last relationship, now I'm like, oh, and someone with emotional maturity, and someone that knows how to communicate properly, that is softly spoken, and like all these other things. I'm like, I don't know who is going to fill his shoes. And today I'm really proud of myself. I was like, I don't think I should put any kind of man on my envisionment of like what I'd want in the future. I think for now I should just focus on looking after me and being independent, because I met my last boyfriend when I was 19, and we were on and off for like 4 years. We probably broke up like 20 times in 4 years, but it was like very intense love. And then when I moved to Gold Coast, I tried dating again, and there was 2 people who I thought I was going to marry, but I was trying to gain their acceptance, and I wasn't exactly the right fit. But here I am, like, yeah, trying to be the right mold for them, or like hope that they want me kind of thing. And then like move straight into that relationship, which just lasted a year. So I haven't truly had time on my own. Like, I had a break from my ex, but like never got over the relationship, and still like wanted to meet up in the future and get married, blah, blah, blah. So I've never fully had a break where I'm like, I'm just going to be happy doing me and being free. So yes, very scary, but I'm so proud of myself for the personal development that I've been doing. The podcast I was listening to, 6 hours of driving today, 3 trips and 6 hours of driving. I went to the gas station 3 times, but just these podcasts and personal development topics I'll be diving into are like stuff I've never looked into before or considered before. So I'm so damn proud of myself and excited to see the growth that is about to manifest. So yeah, I'm gonna head to bed now and go eat my burger, but I'll chat to you tomorrow. The cat mouse. Hey, no. Stay down. So yesterday was a really difficult day. I think I must be coming into my time of month, and I've been getting looked into whether I've got this condition called PMDD, which is basically pre-menstrual dysphoric disorder, which is like extreme PMS. So it's not, oh, just a bit of moodiness or pains or whatever. It's not really confirmed. I asked the psychiatrist when I got diagnosed with ADHD, but they don't really do anything. They're like, oh yeah, it could be that. Like, they don't write it down, or the only cure is going back on the pill or antidepressants, which I don't want either of those. But I think because of the move on Sunday, yesterday it just hit me hard, and even today my whole muscle up one whole side of my back going all the way up my neck into my head is inflamed. Like, yeah, because I was like lifting the whole desk and stuff by myself and moving everything, 6 hours of driving in a day. And then maybe because it's on its way, it just hit me like I couldn't even get out of bed. And then that got really emotional as well, because it just reminded me I'm on my own, and it's those situations you just wish you have someone to like bring you a cup of tea. And I just needed food because I had across a few hours probably 13 painkillers. Like, nothing works. I've run out of codeine and like the heavy stuff, but 13 painkillers, and like can't even feel it. Like, yeah. And then because of that, they rip up your stomach lining and things like that, and I had no food in the new house. So I was like, I've got to get to the supermarket, and I was honestly in bed for maybe 3 hours, just paralyzed. Like, I could not get up. There was boxes all around. Also, because the ADHD diagnosis is new, there's a thing called executive dysfunction, where when you know you've got so much to do, you don't even know where to start. And because of the move, like, everything's all messy and things like that. So yeah, I was just sitting there like unable to get up, and I was like, I need to get to the supermarket to get food, and I can't even move my body. I can't even think about anything. And then yeah, it just really hit me that there's no one to help me, and I'm just gonna have to figure it out. So yeah, after like several hours, I managed to get up and do it. And then when I confided in someone, I just got criticized for not being able to just push through. And this is what I've been struggling with all year. Like, women's bodies are different, but I've had a really weird year where I get fatigued to the point, I've had it like all my life. Like, when I was younger, when I was working, like in Alice Springs, I stayed up once for 54 hours, and then I would like call up to my breakfast chef job, and I couldn't go to work because I couldn't get out of bed. And I've been so exhausted at times, I can't even like roll over or lift up my arm. And yeah, I don't know if that's chronic fatigue, but ADHD can also cause fatigue, or PMDD, I don't know if it's that, but I get like aching bones, like my shins and ankles would be throbbing. I thought I had some kind of autoimmune condition. Then I get asked if I'm earlier in the year got asked if I'm a hypochondriac, and I was like, are you freaking serious? Like, you think I'm making it up? Ugh, it's just really disheartening when, like, I know someone won't understand if they haven't been through it themselves, but when you try to explain it, and yeah, it just like goes, they're just like, well, yeah, if you needed to, you could. And it's like, I do need to. I need to get food. I need to get food so these painkillers don't burn out my stomach lining. And like, I can't stand. It's honestly that bad. But last night I might have had a breakthrough. I came across this thing from this dietitian who I have been following for years, and she posted about this thing called dorsal vagal shutdown. And I was doing a bit of reading. So it says the path of trauma usually results from some form of abuse when younger, and it can also happen from being cut cut off from safe others and things like that. And I've done a lot of trauma work and looking into my past this year, and lots of stuff from my childhood has come up, lots of stuff from my last relationship, and then getting this relationship where I felt so safe as well, and like was the coolest thing ever. And then like having to move away again and like start over again. I never thought I'd have to go through all this thing again. So it could have been a chronic state of stress, and you're like realizing I'm on my own. I've got like extreme bone pain that I can't push through no matter how many painkillers I take. It also says ongoing stresses such as financial problems, relationship issues, or work-related stress can lead to a dorsal vagal shutdown. For example, chronic pain, illness, or inflammation can activate the body's stress response and eventually trigger or contribute to it. And unresolved emotional issues such as past trauma or grief can also contribute towards this response. So yeah, I thought it was just interesting to read about, and it said the ANS regulates many of the body's automatic functions such as heart rate, breathing, and digestion. So basically it regulates all the stuff we don't have to think about. And the three primary states of the body are safety and social engagement, flight and fight, mobility, or shutdown immobility. So when the body is exposed to danger, the ANS shifts out of the safety state. And when the stress is too intense or prolonged, the body may shift into a dorsal vagal shutdown to help the body protect itself. So yeah, I just thought I'd share that because I've never heard of that kind of thing. Like when I've gone through times like that and then you feel crazy and like no one believes you and thinks you can just get up and like there's no excuse. It's like, surely there's a deeper issue. Like, it's just been the hardest thing to go through. So that kind of thing doesn't happen often. Like I always get like very fatigued leading up to my time of month and the days before. And like I've been at work before when I used to work at a cafe last year, and I had to just go out to the staff room in the back, and the uterus pains were so bad. I was like crouching down crying in the staff room when the whole cafe was packed full of people. Like they're taking orders, they need dishes to be cleared. It had been non-stop all day, and I was just like, fuck, like you can't even, it's so hard to push through. And I just honestly like dose up on so much stuff. But yeah, I'm getting it looked into. I've started working with a lady called Faye's Fertility. I think I want to get her on my podcast actually as well, because she does this thing called charting, because I've like, been to a naturopath. I wanted to go to a holistic doctor, and it's like all these different paths you can go down. I've had a ultrasound to see if it's endo, but they can't confirm it unless they do the operation to cut into your stomach, and I hate needles and I don't want a scar, so I'm like, I don't want that. But the ultrasound didn't show up as anything. So just like every single month, even with PMDD as well, it can affect the woman for 1.5 or even 2 weeks before the time of month. So that is half the month, which is half your life. Extreme emotional instability, anger outbursts, extreme fatigue. I don't know, it just really frustrates me when people, they just don't understand if they haven't been through it themselves. And when I used to take the pill as well, I've been off it for almost probably 1.5 years, but I used to only get it, I would take the sugar pills to get the bleed every 3 months. So I only got it like a few times a year, like 4 or 5 times a year or whatever, because I just keep skipping it because I didn't want to go through it. So even after that, it can take a while for your body to balance back out again. So yeah, that was that. So yesterday I was having I didn't even have energy for a meltdown. I was just laying there like, I think that thing makes sense, literally like a shutdown state. I've seen these videos with ADHD, and it's not a few voices in your head like, oh yeah, you need to do this and this. It's like these overlapping voices that you can't even hear anything. 6 different voices at once, like you need to get up and you need to finish putting this stuff away in the pantry and finish or putting away all these boxes and send out your monthly email newsletter and finish like applying for this thing. Like my to-do list is like 20 things long right now, and I struggle with prioritization and things like that. So I don't know, it was just a really bad day. I was just feeling so fatigued and so alone, and everything kind of really hit me. But I got up this morning and feel like a new person. So been productive all day. I've sent out my email newsletter for the month, and also some email newsletters for my upcoming Beat the Bloat program. So yeah, and then I just walked down to the shop and then got a nice little smoothie. It's like a cacao smoothie, and just added espresso to it because I don't have a coffee machine anymore and there's no jug at the house. So I can't even make any instant coffee or iced coffee or anything. So yeah, just will work on building up those things and making a list of a few things I need. But yeah, I thought that it would be cool to bring you guys along for the healing journey, so I'll probably do a few more videos like this. And yeah, I've just been diving really deep into personal development and like really looking at the ways that I can improve my life and different habits that need to be implemented, different areas I need to bring up, or different things to focus on. And I think that's so important because we do just fall into the same cycle, and I do feel like this whole year it's like falling into the same loop and not becoming complacent, but just having like these external stresses which causes me to speak badly to myself, so I'm like stuck in this negative loop, like, oh well, I'll try the next month, and it's like, it's just, I couldn't get out of this state. So I feel like being on my own now, being able to focus on whatever projects I want to do, being able to back myself and just prove it to myself is going to be the best thing ever. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget you can connect with me on Instagram and TikTok at Casey Amber Wellness. And whether you're listening on the podcast or on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with future episodes. So thank you so much, and check back for next week's episode.